June 8th. My name is Bill McCamley. I am the Secretary of the New Mexico Workforce Solutions Department, the Department of Labor, and I'm here with your work update for the day talking about two things. So 2 days ago, we met in Santa Fe with a group that's in charge of working on the census. For those of you that don't know, we have a census every 10 years in the United States, and it's used to determine who is living where. And this is really, really important for a couple of different reasons. Number one, and the reason that got put in the first place, was because the House of Representatives in Washington is determined by population. And so big states like California get a lot of seats. And smaller states like Rhode Island or New Mexico don't get a lot of seats. And so when you look at where people are moving every 10 years, you decide to California lose some seats because people are moving to places like Texas or moving from places from New York to places like Colorado. So if we don't fill out our census, if we undercount our census, then there's a chance we could lose one of our congressional seats, and that means we get less of a say in what goes on at the federal level. Now, I will also say it is also really important for redistricting for those of you that are into elections in the state and local level. So if your county, for instance, gets undercounted, you may not get the same amount of state House of Representatives districts. It's really good for data quality. For instance, things like unemployment, which we do in the Department of Labor. It relies on having a baseline number. So if we say, okay, X amount of people aren't working, if that number's wrong, it really screws up that data. It also really screws up health stats. It's harder to attract businesses because if you can't show a business that the workforce is here or that you have customers, then maybe businesses aren't going to come into your place. And last but certainly not least, there's almost $1 trillion in federal money for things like Medicaid, things like Head Start, things like Pell Grants that are dispersed based on the amount of people that you have in your state. And so if we don't make sure that our census numbers are accurate, then we tend to lose a lot of that money. So we're going to be helping engage at our office with the Census Bureau in finding workers to work the census. The guys going door to door saying, hi, how you doing? I'm with the census. Please help answer these questions. And so if you're going to be interested in getting a job, these jobs pay $13, $15 an hour. You can work as little as 5 hours a week, as many as 40 hours a week. They pay you mileage for your car at I think 53 or 54 cents a mile. So we'll be advertising that starting in September. That's going to be our role in helping make sure that this really big event is accurate for New Mexico. I also want to talk a little bit about job programs. So the Department of Workforce Solutions is going to be rolling out some job programs in the next couple of months where people can actually get into these programs, get the education that they need, as well as the skill sets that they need specifically, and then get a job without actually going into debt, which is a really big deal. And we're going to be working on a welding program up in Farmington, some stuff in Los Alamos National Labs. We're also working on an education program. So I'm actually here in Las Cruces meeting with my friend David Morales, the New Mexico Teacher of the Year from 2016, who actually does a lot of really good work at Mayfield High School with teachers that are coming into the process through the alternative licensure program. So if you don't get a bachelor's degree in education, you can get a bachelor's degree in whatever and go and teach, but you have to take a test to get into the system and pass a bunch of classes while you're teaching. So we're trying to come up with ways of both helping pay for that education and also provide the mentorship and support that a lot of folks need when they come into a school. I mean, if you're a history major or a biology major and you go into a high school, you may need some help with learning what are the best practices with dealing with teenagers. How do I deal with folks that are coming in with folks with family issues? How do I deal with classroom dynamics? How do I make sure that the way that I'm teaching is the most effective way for these kids to learn? And we're going to be really working on that, hopefully coming up with something that we can pilot here in Las Cruces and then bring to the rest of the state. So thanks always for watching this. As always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, let me know, and I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. Bye.